Welcome back to Turning Hard Times into Good Times. I'm your host, Jay Taylor, and I'm really pleased to have with me once again Patrick Highsmith. Patrick is the chairman of Firefox Gold. That's the sponsor to this show. Firefox is a company that appears to me to be on the verge of a significant high-grade gold discovery, or at least it has a good shot at it. I don't think we can say that they've made they've made a discovery. The economics, of course, determining that are a ways away, but a lot of really good news that has come from that company's efforts in the greenstone belt of Finland, underexplored area where there's really a new gold discovery going on. Patrick has had a great deal of experience in the past, worked on more than 250 projects around the world, worked for large household name companies like Rio Tinto, BHP Billiton, Newmont, others, and now he's applying his talents and experience to helping this little junior mining company make its shareholders wealthy, hopefully, and it certainly seems like they're on to the right track. Before I say hello to Patrick, let me just tell you that the stock trades in Canada under symbol FFOX. You can buy it in the States, as I have, under FFOXF. 102.1 million shares, and selling around 28 cents Canadian, or I believe that's about the approximate price, $28 million market cap. So it's a real baby, but it has some great news, and I'm glad to welcome Patrick to tell us about it. Thanks for joining me, Patrick.
Thank you, Jay. Good to be here. Great to be called a baby as well at my age.
Yes, and I have a few more trips around the sun than you, so I feel the same way. If someone called me a baby, but your company is a baby, but it has a lot of great things going for it. So let's hear about that. You start out with this very large land package in underexplored greenstone belt of Finland. Give our listeners just an idea of the land extent that the land package, the size of it that you have. Several different chunks as I look at the map. Very large pieces of land.
Yeah, absolutely, Jay. An emerging gold belt like this, quite frankly, there's a component of land grab, Jay. Mm-hmm, there will be millions of ounces found here, but we have a large land position as if operating like a major company would. We have about 800 square kilometers. And I'll just paint the picture for the audience. We're in northern Finland. This area is called Lapland, just north of the Arctic Circle. But as you can see on those maps, Jay, paved highways, airports, infrastructure is fantastic up here in northern Finland. And so in that part of the world, you have a greenstone belt, and the gold portion of it is about 120 kilometers from sort of northwest to southeast and about 40 kilometers wide. And in there, as you say, we have several large groupings of projects that add up to over 800 square kilometers, making us the first or second largest tenement holder amongst these several gold companies that control the belt.
Now, you've had some early success on one of your smaller targets, and I say smaller because I'm looking at the map and I see Mustajärvi, I think is how you pronounce it. You've had some very nice assays coming out of there. Can you talk about those perhaps, and also what you've learned so far about the geology of this prospect?
Absolutely, Jay. The Mustajärvi project, as you point out, is kind of in the central southern edge of the belt, and it is right off of the paved highway between two cities, Kittilä and Sodankylä. And at Mustajärvi, a lot of your audience may have heard of it because we did drill some spectacular grade and announced that back in the early summer. We drilled a bonanza grade zone there that over almost 1.5 meters, we had 94 grams per ton, visible gold included. But since we've talked, Jay, in September, we came in and finished up that drill program and announced the last couple of holes in the program, and a little bit down dip, a little bit deeper, still shallower than 200 meters below surface. We hit a thicker interval, 16.5 meters, that averaged 7.7 grams per ton. Jay, consistently mineralized. It's down dip from that bonanza grade zone. It includes multiple sort of 0.5 to 1 meter intercepts of quite high grade between sort of 24 and 43 grams per ton. So nice, sort of thicker zone. So our bonanza grade zone's getting a little bit thicker and more developed. And so we announced that result in September. Again, great result there, seeing it get a little thicker. We've learned a lot more about that structure, and really, as we consulted with our team, friendly advisors like Dr. Quentin Henney, a mutual friend of ours, and others, they said, look, get in there and do follow-up drilling around this high-grade zone. We really want to understand its geometry at this point, Jay. So as we speak, the rig is back at Mustiarvi. We've started drilling again. We'll go right through the winter here. And we put several more holes around the high-grade zone at Mustiarvi. And even that, as you say, fairly small property, we've got 2 kilometers of strike length there where we've hit gold. And we've actually moved across the highway to the northeast to test another target out there as well. So there'll be several more holes coming in from Mustiarvi. Probably results will start to come in on that in late November, early December, I suspect, Jay. So more results coming at Mustiarvi.
Is this Mustiarvi? Is this next to Rupert's discovery or not? I'm trying to remember.
That's a great point. It's a great point. We're in the sort of middle of the belt. If you go about 20 kilometers east of here, and a little north of that highway I spoke of, you'll find Rupert's Ickery discovery. So we're about 20 kilometers west of there. We adjoin Rupert, of course, with our Sarvi project, which is over there in that part of the belt.
And so what are your plans there then? You're going to be drilling. I guess do you have a drill program established for Mustiarvi?
Yes, we're close to wrapping up the next round of drilling at Mustiarvi now. The drill is there now, and it will be moving after that to the east. And I guess maybe it's because of the segue, we'll mention the Sarvi area because, Jay, there was some news this week that I want to make sure we discuss. Our friends and neighbors at Orion Resources and B2 Gold in their joint venture announced some significant drill results just west of Rupert's discovery. It's on their Kutavwalma JV area, and in that area, B2 Gold announced a hole of 52 meters of just over 1.8 grams per ton gold on the same structure about 1.5 kilometers west of Rupert's discovery, and that whole area is just about 3.5 kilometers south of our Sarvi project. So we will be drilling Sarvi starting in probably late November or December, Jay, with the first drilling ever on our new permits at Sarvi, right next to these exciting new discoveries from both Rupert and B2 Gold.
So that's 2 projects. I think you've also put out some news this morning, as well as concerning another prospect. I think that's down in the southeastern corner of the belt, perhaps.
That's correct. That's correct. If we jumped another 20 kilometers or so southeast, down near that lower right-hand or southeast end of the belt, we have a large project that's been with us since we founded the company called Yesio, Jay. And in the northeast of that, our neighbor is Orion Resources. They've been working there for several years. We drive past each other in the field quite often. And in that part of the world, we've just completed a large sampling survey using what we call base of till. We abbreviate it BOT, B-O-T, sampling. And BOT sampling is what led to the Ickery discovery. Rupert was out there sampling through those glacial sediments for a couple of years before they generated the Ickery targets and what is now a 4 million ounce discovery. And we've collected now about 1,200 of these base of till samples on the SEO project. Think of it as kind of like a soil sample, Jay, in that it gives you gold and other elements. And this is the precursor to drilling because you've got to sample through these glacial sediments that obscure the bedrock. In doing so, we reported today the results of that survey, and we have some beautiful targets in gold and various pathfinder elements for gold, things like arsenic, antimony, bismuth, tellurium, right on that major fault, Jay, that shows on our maps, the Serka Shear Zone, it's called. And that major fault seems to be controlling a lot of the gold in the belt, and as that passes through our Yesio property, we have at the Utsamo target, we call it, several great anomalies from the base of till results, and that will be our next project getting drilled. The drill should arrive there in November. So that's 3 projects we're going to drill in this current drill program.
Yeah, current drill program, which is there a calendar time on that? How long will that go about? When will you be finished with these 3 drill projects?
That's right. The first phase of the program, Jay, is about 5,000 meters of drilling, and that'll stretch right through the fourth quarter into, say, January or so. That's all fully funded and currently. And in total, we expect to drill 4 projects during that whole drill program. But the first 5,000 meters or so is mapped out, as we just described, and that's all fully funded to take us into the new year.
I saw on Twitter somebody said, I quote this, I don't know who this person is exactly, but he says, "This is why I'm betting on Firefox Gold. Similar structural trends have been reported by Rupert Resources across Area 1, and in particular like the Ikari discovery, which lies only 5 kilometers south of the tenement boundary." Does that make sense? Is this somebody we should listen to?
Well, yeah, I certainly hope so, Jay. Look, we've done a lot of work. We have a structural geologist on board since early in the year who's been managing our work, and the success at Mustajärvi flows from the work of that team. And mind you, we've known there was gold at Mustajärvi, but what we've done is drilled higher grade and greater thicknesses, therefore better potential for an economic discovery there at Mustajärvi. And that analysis goes on every one of our projects. This isn't moose pasture, Jay. You're in a fast-moving gold belt where another major, B2 Gold, in addition to Agnico, who's mining up there at the Kittilä mine, 2 majors now are validating these discoveries, and analogs are a great way to find more gold, Jay. So absolutely, we're comparing a structural setting, the geochemistry, the rocks we're seeing versus those being reported by Rupert and now B2 Gold and, of course, Agnico for the last number of years.
Who are some of your major shareholders? I think it's always good to know who's investing in your company. Who are some of the big boys?
Yeah, we've got a great shareholding base, Jay, and the largest shareholder is Crescat Capital, a wonderful gold fund run out of Denver here, and they've come on since June of 2020 as a sizable investor and have been supportive in our recent financings. Then we would have, as our second biggest shareholder, Magnus Minerals, the private company that was managed by my partner, Carl Lofberg, who's the CEO of Firefox, so a lot of shares held at the board level. And then SSI Asset Management out of Zurich, very smart gold fund, and again, very supportive of this kind of exploration. And Mike Gentile out of Montreal, a well-known gold investor, kind of anchors out the sort of top 4 shareholders there, Jay.
Yeah, it's always helpful to know you have good company in an investment that you take, especially for smaller shareholders. I think it's always reassuring to know smart people are invested in your story. Well, just summing up then, I guess what we're looking for then should be a pretty good stream of assays that you'll be reporting on, and how are the lab situations where you are? I mean, it's taking forever in the States, as you know, and in Canada, but.
Yeah, it is. And labs are full there as well. We visited both the labs nearby to us in the Arctic of Finland back in July. And certainly they're busy. Usually I would say September's probably the busiest month in the labs, Jay, so hopefully it gets a little better here going into Q4. But it's certainly not going to be faster than that sort of 6-week turnaround. But that said, we have some additional permits we expect to be granted in the near term, Jay. That'll be newsworthy. Some of our audience will be following that. And we'll have surface results to report from trenches that we've done, more base of till sampling. And as I said, new drill results will probably begin flowing in December. So there's a nice sort of load of catalysts there as we go through this winter drill program, and we'll certainly keep folks posted with regular news releases as we tend to do.
Well, for a company with a $28 million Canadian $28 million market cap, and all the things you have going, I think it's a story to get excited about. Certainly one of the reasons it's one of my largest holdings, and I want to thank you very much once again for being with us, and we wish you all the best and look forward to keeping up with your story as we continue on through this year and into the next. Thank you so much for joining us again.
Thank you so much. We'll keep you posted, Jay. Thank you.